Student Affairs is a really big department, and it incorporates the guidance area, the Learning Enrichment Center, and the Odette Library. And if I had to encapsulate it, I would say that this is the area of the school where students receive help, where students receive the supports that will enable them to be successful in other parts of their lives, whether academic or personal. So our role is really to be the glue that holds the student experience together. We do have 6 guidance counselors in our department. 2 of them are also learning strategists, and they support students in grades 7 and 8. So they meet with every student and they talk about their academic goals, their career goals, their interpersonal goals, their friendships, how they're relating to peers, whether they're involved at school. That's very important. Involvement and connection are a huge piece of our guidance mandate. When students get into the high school division, so grades 9 to 12, we try to keep students wherever possible with 1 guidance counselor for the full 4 years. And those counselors tend to specialize in course selection, things that will lead to other options and keep the most doors open for them. The Learning Enrichment Center, we support mainly students with learning exceptionalities, so students with individualized education plans, commonly known as IEPs. And they range from students who are identified as gifted, students who are identified as having maybe an anxiety disorder, students who work with ADHD or a learning disability. And from that perspective, we support students in their educational goals to ensure that they have a level playing field to access the curriculum. Something that's fairly unique about our department is the fact that everyone here is a specialist in something related to student support, either guidance or special education or librarianship, or in some cases more than one. So the extra experience and the extra qualifications that people bring to the tasks. What is also unique about the experience we can provide through Student Affairs is the fact that we can journey with students throughout 4 or 6 years in some cases of the student experience. So students come to us and we don't leave them in June. We try to ensure that a student has a connection with a learning strategist, with a guidance counselor for the entire time they're with us. So we get to see them from the beginning of their journey to the end when they graduate from St. Mike's. I have been a teacher for 13 years. I was a classroom teacher for 10 years. I taught English, religion, and drama. And I have been at St. Michael's for, this is my 9th year. So there are things I learned in each of my roles that I think make up the whole of how I understand the student experience. So having been a classroom teacher, I have seen students excel, and I've seen students struggle and everything in between, and had the joys and sorrows of the classroom on a day-to-day basis. I think that's helped to inform me about what academic struggle is all about and what academic success is all about and how to bridge the two. As a guidance counselor, I got to know the students on a one-on-one basis and got to build relationships with them over a few years and seeing them from a different vantage point where I didn't have to assess any of their work. We like to think of ourselves as a team of supportive educators. So we don't work in isolation. So our guidance counselor, for example, is always in collaboration and consultation with our wellness officer, with our learning strategists, with the classroom teachers. And so parents may not be fully aware of the depth of intervention that's being enacted on their son's behalf when they bring a concern to our attention. So the goal is not to provide discrete services from different areas of the school. The goal is to provide an integrated and seamless experience wherein students can find all of what they need through our department and through the lens of a caring adult that they've made a connection with. Having a wellness officer as part of our team has made a world of difference. Whereas before we had to go outside to make referrals for students who may be struggling with wellness issues, with mental illness, with temporary setbacks, with family struggles, we now have someone in our building who's just a wealth of experience, who can join us at our team meetings to discuss at-risk students, who is just downstairs when we need someone to make referrals to outside supports and community services, who's there to connect with students one-on-one when we've kind of reached the limit of what we can support in the building without having to send the student outside. We make a point to meet with every student who enters the building so that they've made that connection with at least one and sometimes two educators in our department in the first month that they're at the school. But we also try to touch base with parents, and we really do encourage parents to call early just to introduce themselves to their son's guidance counselors and learning strategists, and to tell us how they're feeling, what they're thinking, what some of the transition issues are coming from other schools, to help us and to inform the work that we do here. I really hope that students and parents will make the best use of us, that they really will reach out early and often to our guidance department, to our learning enrichment center as appropriate. They're there to support all students, and they're there to support them from the moment they arrive until the moment they leave. Often we have a focus on the grade 12 year, which obviously is important because many students are applying to universities and understanding how their experiences here will translate into the next phase of their journey. But we really do want to have that relationship with families and to build it from the moment students arrive, so that parents always feel and students always feel that there's someone caring and connected who is there at the other end of the phone or who's just an email away.